at least, Mr. Chair, I would know the Vice President is watching us because she just had a press conference and she said that she's denying giving former DepEd Undersecretary Gloria Mercado 50,000 for 9 months. And the Vice President saying that Mercado was let go because she used DepEd to solicit donations from the private sector amounting to 16 million without her knowledge. And she adds that she will provide the media with paper trail to back up her claim, describing Mercado as a disgruntled former DepEd official.
That we did not solicit. In fact, the two corporations are willing to give an affidavit that I have no solicitation from them of 16 million.
May I be allowed to raise some procedural issues?
Congressman Marcoleta, you are not a member of this committee, so therefore you are not allowed.
I think, ma'am, given your long history and long service to the Republic, 40 long years, I think it's fair for you to be given the opportunity to reply to the Vice President.
I think, I don't want to do this, but since siya na yung nagsabi, i-turn over ko na yung envelope. The envelopes where the money was.
Comsec,
So it's 9 envelopes.
kuha po yung envelope.
So it says hope and the amount is there. Kasi ang sakit naman nun, ordinaryo lang akong trabahante tapos inano ka ng Vice President, di ba? It's very painful.
Ma'am, ilang taon na po kayo? I hope you don't mind. Gusto ko lang pong malaman kasi sabi po ninyo 40 years na po kayo in government.
I'm 65, sir, but I...
So when the time when you were appointed as USEC, noong 2022 ba? 2022? How old were you at that time?
I was 64.
64.
Yeah.
I'm sure sa edad ninyong yan, after pagkatapos nyo pong pag-ingatan yung iyong pangalan for the past 40 years?
Sabutin ko yun. Yes, sir.
So, okay, anyway,
Sir,
Mr. Chairman,
I'd like to...
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, dito po ako.
ay,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chair, can I continue first? with
Congressman, wait, before I recognize Congressman Paduano, ma'am. Yes.
I believe...
With the indulgence of Congressman Asidre, please continue, Congressman.
Mr. Chair, can we allow USEC Mercado to continue with the response? Because I was trying to ask her about the 16 million that the Vice President mentioned.
Please respond with respect to the 16 million. 1660.
16
million.
I would like to respond to that because it's a press con. When I was called for by USEC Sulaika, he said, USEC Mercado, you have to go because one, you have a teacher in your staff. But I explained to them that the teacher was a contract of services when I joined DepEd. And the teacher has a pending application in Cebu because he's from the Visayas. And while he was working with us, he qualified for the RQA. But then when he received his appointment as a teacher, it was already past the opening of the class. It was almost opening, and the teaching load was already apportioned. So I called the RD. I said, can I still keep him? Because he was working on the special hardship allowance, which was a program that VP Sara also wanted to improve because there's a new hardship allowance, and we were just able to reduce the hardship threshold from 0.37 to 0.33. And she wanted the basis for the giving of the hardship allowance, special hardship allowance, revisited. So that's why that guy was the one working on it. So I explained, and I don't feel at all na guilty ako dun sa sinabi niya. The second one is, Sulaika mentioned that I solicited from 2 agencies. So I explained to her that it was a program which our strand developed. There were 2 consultants from UNICEF who developed the app, and then we asked our external partnership office to look for external partners who will be presenting the program, because we developed the concept. It was DepEd Guru. It's her being able to contact the 980,000 teachers. Parang kahit nasan siya, pwede niyang makausap yung mga teachers. The second one was for us to do an electronic mode of the RQA. Parang there's no human intervention anymore. Everyone uploads the credential. Even the computation of the teacher qualification is already on an what do you call this? Wala na siyang human intervention. So that was the program. It wasn't us who choose who would be the partners who will be invited. It was the external partnership. So we made a presentation to almost all the corporations. And then some of the corporations appreciated that it's a very important program. So some of them committed to buy, kasi what we did is we divided the total fund of 16 million into chewable chunks. So if you're interested with this package, ito lang. If you're interested with it, because not everyone naman wanted to pay the 16 million. But there were 2 corporations who were willing to fund, because we wanted to put one in Mindanao, one in Visayas, and one in Luzon. So there were 2 who committed to fund the full package, and those were the 2 corporations that USEC Sulaika said I solicited. So I explained properly. I did not solicit. There's no money involved there. These are equipments. Walang cash po doon. Equipment siya na ito-turn over sa DepEd. So I feel very sad that up until now, the BP has not been appraised, as I explained it to her people, that we did not solicit. In fact, the two corporations are willing to give an affidavit that I have no solicitation from them of 16 million.
So to reiterate, Mr. Chair, USEC, first, this was a sanctioned DepEd project.
It's a DepEd project.
Second,
yes.
you did not do the solicitation yourself.
This was managed by the
External Partnerships Office. Third, no cash donation was ever
So
made. Equipment was given to the department. So none of this, of what allegations that the Vice President's making against you is true.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair. And
Thank-
that makes it very sad because she's saying it now. Ibig sabihin, her people did not explain to her.
At least I know she's watching, then she probably be able to get the information from you now. Thank you, USEC Law. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Ano na po, short interjection with regards to the envelopes that was submitted to this committee. And I just want to put in record that voluntarily, former USEC Mercado submitted the 9 envelopes, sealed, to support his claim, her claim in her affidavit, paragraph 4. Tama po, USEC? Ito yung sa affidavit mo paragraph 4, no? So, Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
again,
Chair.
just for the record, the 9 envelopes is being submitted voluntarily by USEC Mercado and for this committee to keep it as part of the supporting evidence that was claimed through her affidavit, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you po. The chair would like to recognize the next interpellator, Congressman Suwan.
Mr. Chair,
With the indulgence of Congressman Suwan, please,
Mr. Chair, first,
Kong J. Konghon.
USEC Mercado, pwede po ba kaming makakuha nung copy din ng resibo nung pinagdonatan po natin
Opo.
ng pera?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Chair, I'd like to request, Mr. Chair, the COA for the copy of the rental or lease agreement of the 10 satellite offices and 2 extension offices of the OBP. I so move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion by the second, duly seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the chair would like to recognize Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. With the indulgence, of course, of Congressman Suwan. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I be allowed to raise some procedural issues?
Congressman Marcoleta, you are not a member of this committee, so therefore you are not allowed.
I think, Mr. Chair, we have yet to resolve that because, as you said in the last hearing, my removal as a vice chair of this committee was a plenary action. And therefore, there should be a plenary action to remove me as a member of this committee. I would like to believe, Mr. Chair, that when I was installed as a vice chair of this committee, it presupposes membership. I am supposed to be deemed a member because if I were not a member, I cannot be appointed as a vice chair. The officiality of that is the position is only a privilege, but membership is organic. So until and unless that was to be resolved, Mr. Chair, I think you have to recognize me as a member of this committee because even if I admit or I will probably accede to you that I am not a member, kahit hindi po ako member sa committee ito, being a member of the House of Representatives, I have the right to make issues and to raise issues. That's why I'm asking your permission to do so, Mr. Chair.
You can at any time make a manifestation. In fact, I've been recognizing you po. But with respect to the issue of your removal, the committee is not in the position to answer that. Maybe you can question the Committee on Rules. Sila po ang proper committee na po pwede pong sumagot sa
Yes,
inyo pong
Mr. Chair, that is
katanungan.
correct. The only reason why I answered you back because you said that I am not a member of this committee. I should not have raised that at all had you not said it. But may I continue, Mr. Chair, in raising some procedural issue because during the first hearing, I know that the very basis of this inquiry in aid of legislation was the privileged speech delivered by Honorable Valeriano. And I would like to make of record, Mr. Chair, although I was unable to do that during the first hearing, the privileged speech shouldn't have been allowed at all based on our rules. Our rules specifically states that no one can be allowed or avail the privilege hour if the concerns he is to raise in his privileged speech principally and directly relates to a bill under consideration. At the time Honorable Valeriano, Mr. Chair, delivered his privileged speech, the General Appropriations Bill was already filed on August 27, 2024. He took the floor on September 3, and therefore, any concern relating to the subject matter in the budget or in the bill should not have been allowed at all. And then, this morning I saw the agenda, Mr. Chair. There was an additional agenda added in this committee, and this is supposed to be the manifestation raised by Congresswoman Louis Stroh. And I saw in the notes that it was taken up as motu proprio matter, Mr. Chair. On procedural matters, I don't know how it should be done, because motu proprio, to my mind, is something that would indicate an official action taken without formal request from another party. And so my question, Mr. Chair, is how did the committee took it on a motu proprio basis when it was a manifestation taken by another party? I see it a very unusual procedure, Mr. Chair, because this representation, I would like to recall that sometime in March 2024, delivered a privileged speech dealing on the same subject matter, and I think even more, I questioned the several irregularities pointed out by the Commission on Audit, specifically in 2017, 2018, and 2019, covering the audit report of COA in the Department of Education. In that privileged speech, Mr. Chair, I took note of the sum of something like 3.25 billion pesos of information communication technology packages. As noted by the Commission on Audit at the time, Mr. Chair, there were no adequate supporting documents. Unfortunately, that privileged speech was not even referred to the department or to the committee, to any committee, either the Committee on Education or the Committee on Good Government. And so my question, Mr. Chair, is how is it special, or how special can a manifestation issued during the budget committee hearing that this committee, this good committee, already took it as a motu proprio action, subject matter to be covered by this hearing. So parang there is no consistency, Mr. Chair. Parang I would like to volunteer, Mr. Chair, that a copy of my privileged speech delivered on March 15, 2021, entitled Co-Bodies DepEd. It was not even referred to any committee, Mr. Chair. When I exposed several irregularities in the Department of Education as audited by the Commission on Audit, I would like to volunteer that this be made part of the documents that might be taken up by the committee in regard to any investigation with regard to DepEd. In this particular privileged speech, Mr. Chair, I even question a particular law. It's Republic Act 8047. This is a law enacted in 1995. And in that particular law, it prohibited DepEd, then called DEX, that time, Mr. Chair. DEX at that time was already prohibited from procuring and publishing the books. And it should be relegated, or it should be transferred to the private sector publishers. For more than 25 years, Mr. Chair, the DepEd did not follow the law. It's Republic Act 8047. I've been pointing out to them several times already. But there was no investigation done on that matter? How is it that a manifestation issued during a budget hearing be taken up as motu proprio when a full privilege speech dealing on the same subject matter and even, I think, more appropriately described as more complete, but it wasn't taken up, Mr. Chair. This is all, and I thank you very much for allowing me. Thank you.
Thank you. Duly noted. Congressman Lord Suwan.